What number of islands are there on the planet? Nobody knows without a doubt. It is assessed that there are around 670,000 islands, and just 110,000 are occupied. The rest are abandoned or uninhabited by people. Remote locations are protection desert gardens. Indeed, even with human cooperation, islands have ended up being biodiversity areas of interest. At times, you'll just track down specific plants and creatures on unambiguous islands. For example, the Sumatran tiger is just tracked down on the Indonesian island of Sumatra. The most renowned island on the planet for the eco-cognizant local area is Galapagos Island, which affected the vast majority of Charles Darwin's striking work. Islands are fascinating biological systems. We should see 5 remote locations on the planet, realities about them, how they've been impacted by environmental change and why these islands are uninhabited. Number 1, Auckland Island. Auckland Island is tracked down in New Zealand. It's one of 5 of New Zealand's sub-Antarctic islands, famously known as Frustration Island and the site of a few wrecks. In spite of the fact that it's presently abandoned, there have been past bombed endeavors at human settlement. The most striking is the 20-year settlement of the Maori. Auckland Island is an UNESCO World Legacy Site because of its rich organic variety. 5 seabird species breed on these sub-Atlantic islands, and no place else in the whole world. A sum of 126 bird species call this island home. Auckland Island's rich biodiversity likewise envelopes the marine climate. Thusly, the UNESCO World Legacy Site status covers both the island and the 12 nautical miles of sea encompassing it. Islands have higher eradication rates contrasted with different environments. Environmental change is one of the drivers of this issue. The jeopardized New Zealand ocean lion, which is just seen as here, is in danger of elimination. The red-charged gull is quite possibly of the most well-known seabird on Auckland Island, and it's tragically capable of half-decay beginning around 1983 because of environmental change. The yellow-piered towed penguin faces a similar outcome. Number 2, Mukaoang Strap. Mukaoang Strap is a marine public park in Thailand that comprises of 42 islands. These 42 islands complete 19 square miles of land and 20 square miles of water. The recreation area was laid out in 1980. By regulation, no modern or human action is permitted in the public park, as it is safeguarded as a site of protection. Mukaoang Strap is perceived as a significant wetland under the Ramsar Shoal. Dissimilar to different parks where vacationers can visit corals, Mukaoang Strap doesn't offer this experience. The shallow water combined with sedimentation from the Tapi stream has obscured the water, making it incomprehensible for coral to get by. Mukaoang Strap has interesting greenery like the endemic woman shoe. It's likewise home to whale sharks, green ocean turtles and the Pacific humpback dolphin. Similarly as with various other delicate environments, environmental change has straightforwardly affected the well-being and levels of biodiversity inside the marine park. The ascent of ocean levels and more grounded storms brought about by environmental change represent an immediate danger to normal territories and species endurance. Number 3, Cocos Island. Cocos Island is a renowned remote location tracked down off the bank of Costa Rica. Its 2 regular harbors, Chatham Inlet and Wafer Strait, were famous fortune hideaways for privateers. Subsequently, the island is broadly known as Fortune Island. Cocos Island is likewise a public park, perceived as an UNESCO World Legacy Site. This is a result of its tropical rainforest and rich social and verifiable worth dating to the 18th 100 years. Cocos Island is likewise the motivation behind Jurassic Park and Fortune Island. Cocos Island is so wealthy in biodiversity that it's been nicknamed Little Galapagos. Species ordinarily found here incorporate yellowfin fish, hammerhead sharks, and monster manta beams. The warm temperatures and wet environment establish a tropical climate that is liable for its rich biodiversity. Sadly, environmental change adversely affects this biosphere. In spite of this, Cocos Island actually has one of the best and different coral reefs in Costa Rica. Tragically, Hotter temperatures because of environmental change might prompt the deficiency of coral reef species. This implies that natural life dependent on the coral reef for safe house might cease to exist. Number 4, Tetpare Island. Tetpare Island is tracked down in the Solomon Islands. Tetpare is an UNESCO World Legacy Site. It's the biggest remote location in the South Pacific. It has been abandoned for over a long period and a half, damaged by strange stories. Luckily, people live on adjoining islands. You might visit to find out about their way of life and backing their neighborhood organizations. The absence of human impact implies that natural life is flourishing at Tetpare Island. It's a significant reproducing site for the jeopardized leatherback turtle. Green turtles, prehensile followed skink, sharks, crocodiles, and dugongs additionally flourish here. Supportable the travel industry is conceivable due to the ecology worked with practical, earth-accommodating materials. Just a limit of 16 visitors are permitted at any one time at the property, restricting human effect. Environmental change might upset this biological system's coral reefs, which are probably the most assorted universally. Number 5, Aldabra Atoll. Aldabra Atoll is a separated and unavailable island in the Seychelles. Its separation from land is the essential justification for it being abandoned. People nearly meddled during the 1960s when the English Service of Safeguard considered fostering a Regal Flying Corps organizing post here. What it needs human presence, it compensates for in untamed life biodiversity. It's biologically huge, as the main area on the planet has Goliath turtles. It's likewise an UNESCO World Legacy Site. There are just 2 maritime rearing destinations for more prominent flamingos on the planet. Aldabra Island is one of them, making it a Ramsar site. The segregation has made Aldabra Atoll a safe house for biodiversity, facilitating north of 400 endemic species liberated from human obstruction. Fundamentally jeopardized hawksbill turtles, white-throat rail, and green turtles are among the phenomenal creatures that call the island home. Sadly, people have figured out how to influence untamed life populaces here through human-prompted environmental change. Hotter temperatures are lessening coral reefs at Aldabra.